NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day NFL Show. I'm bringing to you guys my Week 4 early look predictions. Oh boy, Week 3 was crazy. I told everyone to be very careful if you were betting on the games this week because it was going to get crazy, and that's exactly what happened, guys. OMG. We still somehow had a 9-5 record so far with 2 games left to go. Still 34-12 on the season. 74% winning percentage, guys. Woo, baby. How about Atlanta and Green Bay both losing in Week 3? Unbelievably crazy. I also lost the Patriots game, the Raiders game, and Dallas is one of the worst football teams I've ever seen in my whole life. Good job, Jerry Jones. And my Eagles came up with a huge last-second victory, guys. Let's get into the Week 4 early look predictions right now. All right, all my NFL fans, I know it was crazy this past week, but we're going to get back on that horse, and we're still going to have a winning record this week no matter what, so that's always a good thing, guys. Do me a huge solid. Hit that like button. It does really help us get into the YouTube algorithm. You could smash that hype button as well on your phone. That also helps. And if you want more NFL updates, please consider subscribing to the channel, guys. Here we go, Week 4, kicking things off Thursday night, Seattle versus Arizona. I like Seattle even if they're on the road. This Arizona offense is pretty inept in my opinion. Kyler Murray went 22 of 35 for 159. They ran the ball a little bit better, but they're still pretty inept on offense. Tons of confusion on the offensive side of the football this past week. Bad play clock management. And Seattle, on the other hand, is rolling right now. They're taking care of business when they should. They dominated a really bad New Orleans Saints team this past week. Big victory. Arizona lost a heartbreaker to San Francisco. That game was just tough to watch. Low-scoring game there for sure in San Francisco. I'm going with Seattle. No doubt about it to get a road victory here, guys. Next up, we got the Vikings versus Pittsburgh. Minnesota also had a very good week. Wentz was pretty solid in that return. He probably plays again. I expect McCarthy to miss at least a couple weeks. He went 14 of 20, a $173, 2 touchdowns. But man, Jordan Mason was an absolute beast. 16 for 116 on the ground, guys. It's great to have Christian Darrisaw back. He played really well, guys. And on the flip side, the New England Patriots lost that game more than Pittsburgh won it. Drake May threw an interception in the end zone, and then going in the score to take the lead, he fumbled the ball away, and they ended up losing that game. Pittsburgh's just a mediocre, meddling team, in my opinion. I like Minnesota. I just think they have a better roster. I think they're the better overall football team. They're going to run the ball better than Pittsburgh's going to. And Aaron Rodgers is just old. I like Minnesota in this spot. Faux show, guys. All right, NFL fans, next up on the slate, we got the Commanders going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, who were absolutely embarrassed by one of the worst teams in the NFL this past weekend. Wow. What an absolute embarrassment. 30-0. Michael Penix Jr. got benched. He was abysmal, man. They missed field goals. It was just so bad to watch. Kirk Cousins came in the game, played actually okay, but Michael Penix Jr., 18 of 36, 2 touchdowns against one of the worst defenses we've seen in recent NFL history, guys. Marcus Mariota came in to replace Jaden Daniels, who I think plays in this game, right? I'm going with the Washington Commanders all day long in this spot, guys. And if you're into sports betting, make sure you check out my memberships, guys. $4.99 a month. It was a tough week this past week, I'm not going to lie. But I did have some bets that I made live that made a lot of my money back. And sometimes you got to cash out. No one to fold them. You got to play these live odds as we go, guys. Faux show. And I did mention to bet very carefully this week. Don't make a lot of bets. I didn't actually make a lot of bets, guys. I told you it was going to get crazy, and that's exactly what happened. But we're going to go with the Commanders here, guys. Saints versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are going to dominate this game. The line's probably going to be 20. The Saints are really bad, and the Bills are really good. I don't have much else to say about this game because the Saints are about to get destroyed. In Buffalo, they got to play outside. Yikes! Next up, Cleveland at Detroit. The Cleveland Browns coming back and beating the Packers. Yo, Packers fans. Oh my gosh, what an embarrassment, man. Joe Flacco couldn't be more inept at the quarterback position, and they still find a way to win. Brandon McManus gets like a 30-yard kick blocked, and then Cleveland's kicker from like 55-plus boots it in for the win. They should be ashamed of themselves. This team's just not ready to go to the next level and compete for a championship when you're losing to teams like the Cleveland Browns. However, the Browns' defense is pretty damn good, but not good enough to stop the Detroit Lions. I think Jared Goff carves them up in this spot. I love the Lions to get a pretty easy victory. I thought the Packers' victory was going to be easy, but that was not the case. I think Survivor, a lot of people took Green Bay, and they got destroyed. Woo, baby. Lions get it done, guys. Carolina versus New England. I know Carolina's coming off that big 30-0 victory, but they're still a bad football team. And so are the Patriots, right? Drake May gave away this game, throwing an interception in the end zone. It's a shame because when it mattered, he looked like shit. But other than that, he was pretty systematic, man. He was playing pretty good. Huge turnovers cost the Patriots that game versus Pittsburgh. And honestly, I picked the Patriots, and I would pick them again. Because the only reason they lost was because Drake May throws interceptions in the end zone instead of getting points, right? And then he fumbles going in the score again. It was a disaster, right? But I like New England at home in this spot. Carolina played great, right? They forced 3 turnovers, but Atlanta was an absolute disgrace. For right now, I'm going to go with the Patriots here at home. I don't care what happened last week. The Panthers still are not a good football team, but maybe this turns it around for them. Momentum is a real thing in the NFL. I got to watch the tape a little more before my other picks with scores later in the week, but right now, I'm going to go with New England. Chargers versus the New York Giants. Giants play tonight versus Kansas City. We'll see how they look. Justin Herbert just rolling, man. He got sacked 5 times. I want to see them clean that up, but they're starting to run the ball a little more efficiently as well, even without Rashawn Slater, right? But I don't like Herbert throwing the ball 47 times. That's not a winning recipe. And remember, the Giants have a really good pass rush, right? So they got to protect Herbert better. They're better coached. They got a better quarterback. I'm rolling with the Chargers on the road to get it done, guys. Philadelphia Eagles, woo, baby, talk about. I think I lost 11 years on my life today watching that Philadelphia Eagles game. They looked terrible in the first half, but they outscored the Rams 26-7 in the second half. A.J. Brown took over 6 for 109 in a tutty. Woo, baby. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, just got out of that game against the Jets with a win. That was really, really, really close. A lot of penalties for Tampa Bay, 14 in total, 10 in the first half, right? I've been going back and forth on this game. The Eagles found something in the second half. Can that carry over into week 2? We'll have to see. I'm rolling with the Philadelphia Eagles right now. But we have to see if Tristan Wirfs and Godwin are back in week 4. I might have to flip over to Tampa Bay. And the Buccaneers, for whatever reason, especially in Tampa Bay, just seem to own the Philadelphia Eagles, right? So we'll have to see what happens. Right now I'm going with Philly, but the Buccaneers are definitely in play to win this game. We've got to dive into the tape a little bit more, see who's healthy, see who's not healthy. If Lane Johnson's out and then Wirfs is back for Tampa Bay, I'll flip to Tampa Bay. But right now, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Tennessee versus Houston. Man, C.J. Stroud looks awful. He threw 2 more picks today. Just awful. Nico had a nice day, 8 of 104, but man, this is just 2 bad football teams playing each other right now. Remember, D-tackle Devondre Sweat missed last week, so I don't know, man. Who do you pick in this game? It's like, stay away. I just don't trust Houston at all. But I'm going to go with Houston because I think that defense is going to stymie the Tennessee Titans offense, and then C.J. Stroud's going to do just enough to win this game. But this is a battle between 2 teams who cannot run the football at all whatsoever. Man, Houston's got to play better, man. D'Amico Ryans does not have this team playing well at all whatsoever. I'm going to go with Houston, but I'm not super confident in this game at all whatsoever. Colts versus the Rams. Man, the Colts are just rolling. Another dominant performance, but the Rams played really well in Philly on the road. Kyron Williams, 20 for 94. Puga, 11 catches and 112. I want to see more Devontae Adams in this spot versus the Colts. Man, Daniel Jones has just been efficient, and Jonathan Taylor has been taking over games, guys. 102 yards. 3 tutties, man. OMG. But the Rams really bottled up Saquon Barkley in this spot. Can they do that to Jonathan Taylor? If they can win. But I'm going back and forth on this game. Right now, I'm going to go with the Rams. I just think they're a better football team, even though the Colts are hot right now, right? I like the Rams, especially at home, to eke out a very, very close win. Jacksonville versus San Francisco. Man, Mac Jones has looked really good in Brock Purdy's stead. I expect Brock Purdy to be back this week in San Francisco. They're playing back-to-back home games. That's great. Jacksonville's got to travel across the country. Ricky Pearsall is a monster. 8 catches for $117. C-Mac caught 10 for 88. Brian Thomas Jr. just keeps dropping the damn football, man. Trevor Lawrence is, again, just making bad decisions. He just locks in on receivers, man, and as a defense, that's just like, I'm going to intercept this football. So I'm going to roll with San Francisco in this spot. They're playing good team football. Robert Saleh's got this defense playing really, really well. And I think they're going to force some turnovers versus Trevor Lawrence, he's not that dude, man. He's just not that dude. Then we move on. Baltimore versus Kansas City. I think the Ravens dominate this game. I think the Kansas City Chiefs championship window for now is over. The Ravens are a lot better football team. The Kansas City Chiefs don't look good on the offensive line. The defense looks so they can't run the football at all. Not a ton of speed without Xavier Worthy. He's going to miss that game tonight versus the Giants. I'm rolling with Baltimore all day long. Next up, we got Chicago versus the Raiders. I picked the Raiders this week. I guess in my heart, I'm just like, they got Pete Carroll. They got Chip Kelly. They got Geno Smith, who actually had a pretty good day today. But man, oh man, this offensive line is so unbelievably bad. And the defense isn't good either, man. They're just like, where you need to be successful in this league is in the trenches. And this team is not good in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, and that's going to make them lose a ton of game. Geno had a solid stat line to get today, guys. 19 of 29, 289, 3 touchdowns. If you would have just saw that, you would think they would have won that game, but they got blown out by the Commanders because the defense just isn't good, man, and they can't run the ball. 3.3 yards per carry again today. They can't run the ball effectively, and they're going to continue to lose games until they can figure out this running game. Caleb Williams looked pretty good against Dallas, but everyone, you can put me at quarterback and I would tear up the freaking Cowboys, man. That's how bad this defense is. It's a disaster. Diggs got hurt. Bland didn't play this week. This defense is one of the worst defenses I've seen in a very, very, very long time. But I'm going to roll with the Bears. I think they got some juice going. Caleb Williams, 4 tutties today, looked pretty good. 19 of 28, 298, right? But, man, 4 touchdown passes for Caleb as well. They ran the ball a little more effectively. Swift was actually hitting the holes and running through them instead of getting happy feet. They did what they were supposed to do. I think that happens again. I think Chicago blows out the Raiders, who are just terrible, man. In the trenches, they're bad, and they're going to just lose a ton of games this year, man. No matter how good their skill position players are, they're not good in the trenches. And that's how you win in this league. Packers versus Dallas. Packers get right after that embarrassing performance versus the Browns. The Dallas Cowboys defense, they can't rush the passer. They can't cover anyone. This defense is a disaster. Jerry Jones, you are a joke, Jerry Jones. OMG, guys. But Packers get right after an abysmal performance. They couldn't run the ball. Jordan Love didn't do a good job tearing up a not-so-good secondary, right? I mean, let's tip our caps. Their defense kept them in the game. And if you let these teams hang around, you could lose. And that's exactly what happened. Because shit gets crazy. Block kick. This dude sinks a 57-yarder. And then, boom, Packers lose. And everyone's parlays were crushed this week by the Packers losing. Jets versus Miami. I'm going with Miami in this spot. Even though the Jets made it a game again, right? This Jets team under Aaron Glenn does not die, right? They keep coming back and keep it coming back and coming back, but it's hard to play football like that. It's demoralizing, right? They got to go on the road in Miami against a pretty good offense, man. Their offensive line's not very good, but they got solid skill position players. As of right now, I'm rolling with Miami at home to get a W. The Bengals were an abomination this week. Jake Browning sucks. The defense is terrible. No Shamar Stewart. They were awful. They got their brakes blown off. Denver just lost a really tough division game to the Chargers. That game could have went either way. That was a 50-50 spot. Bo Nix was pretty blah, blah, blah. Dobbins ran the ball well, 11 for 83 and a tutty. Cortland Sutton, 6 for 118. But I think this offense is really missing Evan Ingram. I'm hoping he suits up this week. But either way, I'm going with Denver, guys. That is my week 4 early look picks, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being in this community. Closing in on 30K. You guys are the best. Peace.